Demoted Daniel. Daniel got demoted. Again? Yeah. Ava demoted him.
Good evening. We're going to go ahead and start the meeting to order. Jim, Mr. Moore, could you please call the roll?
Okay, Carl Estelle.
Here. Present.
Daniel Gray will not be here. Ava Coleman.
Present.
Jim Moore, present. Ron McDaniel. Present. Dina Tony.
Here.
Lauren Martin.
Here.
And Laura Walker.
Here.
All here but one.
We'll go ahead and stand for a moment of silence in the pledge.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to everyone.
Please.
Yeah, I'm sitting in for Daniel tonight. I usually don't do this stuff. Here we go. Our vision. JNPSD will be the model district where every learner is valued and empowered to become a successful contributing member of society. Our mission. JNPSD will foster a culture of ownership and accountability through partnerships that create multiple pathways for success. Thank you for reminding me of that,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
McDaniel. Okay, today we have a special presentation.
Good evening, board. The first presentation I'm going to ask Coach Barry Hickapotham, to our athletic director, to come forward with his presentation.
Good evening. I just wanted to share some good news about our athletic department. Our numbers compared to last year, we are up 1%, which was a positive. We have 39% of JHS students participating in our athletic department. And you'll currently see grade points averages compared with athletes that are involved in the program. Our total number this year, we have 453, and we're up from last year. So we're pleased with that. I think one of the most important pieces of the puzzle is we had a lot of firsts this year that I wanted to share with you, that whether you know it or not, you made an impact. We held our first wrestling match during January with Bologna and Josie Robinson, and our scholars competed, and we let all our athletes in the other sports come and cheer them on that night. And if you didn't get a chance to be there, we probably had about 150 athletes from other teams to come and cheer them on, and it was a great evening. And we did win the tri-match, but that wasn't what was important. The important thing was getting it done and getting it started. And then we did have a young lady that qualified for state, and she did win a match, and that was awesome. If you've never been to a state wrestling competition, it is something to see. There's about 12 matches going on at a time by weight class, and schools from everywhere. It was really exciting to see. We had one male and one female that qualified for state in their weight class, and if we hadn't started that program, we wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. I want to speak on our track team for just a few minutes. This is the first time since we've been Titans that our track team has won a meet with both of our teams, our male and our female athletes. Both we won the girls and the guys. We had our first person on our track team that won total points, and so our track team is, when we first started, we had 6 males and 4 females. And I guess it was last Thursday, we competed in the conference meet, and we took over 50 scholars to participate in that track meet. And what was awesome is, I don't know if you're familiar with track, but there's a race called the 4x200. And on our relay team, everybody's running the 200. And with about 250 yards left, we're in 4th place. And we're behind Parkview, we're behind Silver Hills, and we're behind Bologna. And so we hand the baton off on the last leg, and we're still in 4th. And we've got a scholar that can get around the track, is what I say, pretty quickly. And as he's closing, those 50 kids that we have in the stands, the volume level just increases. And we closed in the last 10 yards, and we won that relay. Our team finished first in conference. You're talking about a warm feeling to go from 10 to 50, and to have kids competing in conference meets and winning them was just awesome. And I appreciate Dr. Ola with the wrestling program and the vision for the track. And our ultimate goal is to host our conference track meet next year or the year after. And then we do have 2 kids in our wrestling program that are going to sign this Friday to go to Central Baptist College. That's something that we wouldn't have been able to do we wouldn't have been able to start that program. So thank you for believing in our program and supporting those guys and gals, and they're working hard, doing good things. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. We have an additional student presentation. Mrs. Jamie Blassingame will come and present the seal of biliteracy.
Good evening, Dr. Owen and members of the board. I'm Jamie Blackton, and I have the privilege, one of my many roles here is to serve as the ESOL coordinator award is for students who demonstrate proficiency in both English and at least one other language. It is a mark of academic excellence, cultural awareness, and real-world readiness that will benefit them in college, careers, and beyond. This accomplishment not only reflects their personal dedication, but also highlights the strength of our district's commitment to language development and diversity. I'm going to call up one of our ESOL specialists, Mr. Underwood, who will be presenting these students, and I think only one photo, but we have three tonight with their award.
Good evening. The first person that we would like to introduce to you is Thomas Beaumont. He will receive the certificate of completion. We proudly give this to him for completing the Arkansas Skill of Battle Literacy, and it is in the language of chess, and he is a 12th grade. In addition to receiving the certificate, he also received a medal that has the Arkansas Skill of Battle Literacy. Also, we're going to present it to Noah Stengel, and he received it in Spanish and also in German. He will receive a certificate along with the medal as well. And the third person we have is Adrian Rodriguez. He will receive it in Spanish. Thank you.
Board, no, the board, go back to You're front and center.
There we go.
Counselors, 1, 2, 3. I got you. Thank
Mrs. Coleman, that concludes our presentation.
Okay, thank you. That was wonderful. Do we have a facilities update?
We do.
Short and sweet tonight, we're basically through with the clinic. We're punching the clinic itself this week. Just hand the keys over to our care to move furniture in next week. Sewer, we're approaching the end of the hallway, and we still have, I guess we have one more classroom width, and then the sidewalk to the manhole to have the sewer completely dug up, and then we'll get the pipes put in. We probably have about 20 feet of pipes that's already, that we have dug up and ready to put pipes in. So that should be tracking right on schedule for May 21st for a final inspections and turnover for our care to come move their people in, and I think maybe start seeing patients in June is their plan. So things are looking really good, and you can see the pictures that I sent out in the board report. It looks a whole lot different than it did as a school. It's hard to believe that we got that much stuff in one hallway. If there are any questions I can answer?
So let's talk about the sewer deal. Is going to be fixed to where if we do expansion of the other parts, it'll?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Just for that one.
Well, it'll be for half, but what we did is we came in right about the cafeteria, which is halfway down the hallway. so we could get the clinic on board and send it out to him, so we'd have to do the other half of
Okay.
the hallway to get the rest of the building
Okay.
up and running.
I was
Darn
afraid of
it,
that.
I know, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, legacy walk.
Yes, board members, you have another packet that Ms. Rangel presented to you, and we had one right before that from this group. And so I would like to have you all score these, and then I will send you the results from this round and the previous round. And then just a reminder, the company who are the company that's printing the actual monuments, the plaques, have a time span about 3 to 4 weeks for production. And so if we want these included, as soon as these are scored along with the previous group, we have two in that group, we can go ahead and place this with the other order so that we can get those in production. And hopefully by the end of June, we can have that completed, or before the end of June, we can have all completed, and then we can officially schedule a recognition ceremony for the Legacy Walk. And that concludes my update. If there are any questions, I'm open.
Thank you so much. District reports.
Yes, I have one additional report for you all. The board policies, model policies that ASBA puts together for us, I've submitted those to you, and of course, they're in alignment with the recent legislation that the Arkansas legislature has just passed and been approved by the governor. And so we will have a busy next few months. And so if you could review those, and I'll start adding those to the board agenda for your review and approval. We were also, Section 3 is licensed, and Section 8 is classified. So we're sending those to those licensed and classified PTC groups so they can review. The changes that you will see are in red, and those are in alignment with the law. And so we really don't have a choice to implement them or not, but we just want to make sure all groups who are going to be impacted by the changes are aware of those. And so those will be shared with those groups as well as officially placed on the board agenda starting June. And that concludes my report for this month.
Thank you. Do we have a PPC report?
Yes, Ms. Davis.
Good evening, everyone. I had several things for the board, but I think some of them have been worked out already. And the only thing that we want to add is that the employees, the classified employees of the district, that they can use their spouse's leave to align it with the licensed personnel. They have that already. They can use their spouse's leave, and we just want to align ours with that.
Do we need to vote on this?
Yes, ma'am. Melissa, did we receive a copy of that? Ms. Davis?
It wasn't part of the original email that was sent, and then Ms. Eric and I compared it to the 3.8, which is the license, and so the language aligns with that.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. We're good.
Okay. Well, we'll entertain a motion to approve the verbiage to allow spouses to use their leave as certified staff does already.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, it's passed. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, we need to take some action on our consent agenda. Hopefully everyone has had an opportunity to look over that. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, that is passed. Classified employee sick leave revision.
Yes, ma'am. Before you, you have a revised 8.5 policy for classified employee sick leave. Director of Finance, it was submitted by Mrs. Erica Logan, our Director of HR. The Director of Finance and staff will need to update the classified sick leave policy to align with the license policy. This change will require all JNPSD employees to submit leave requests in either half-day or full-day increments. In our e-finance system, it's configured to recognize only half-day and full-day entries. And so the district would like to transition from hourly system to that half-day and full-day increment. So the recommendation is to approve this revised classified employee sick leave policy.
I entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Thank you. License stipend addition to the salary schedule.
This action item was also submitted by Mrs. Logan, Director of HR. It's the license stipend addition to the salary schedule. For the 25-26 school year, 2 teachers at JHS will oversee the cybersecurity pathway. We're requesting a stipend of $5,000 be added to their salary schedule due to the additional planning, coordination, and oversight of this program that it requires. They will write grants and organize advisory board meetings and align the curriculum with industry and post-secondary expectations. Just for more clarification, this was once a full-time position, 244 day contract. We have removed that and will add the additional stipend to these 2 teachers so that they can complete the requirements so that the cybersecurity continue to move forward. So the recommendation is to approve the stipend addition to the 25-26 salary schedule as presented.
I entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed. Audit report.
Yes, board members, you should have received the FY24 audit report at your home address. There were 2 management report findings that were presented to you. The one about the salary adjustment to the payroll specialist, as well as the cyber breach of those 3 charges, ACH charges to our bank account that we were credited back by the from the bank after our finance team discovered those fraudulent charges. And so, if there are any questions, I will definitely entertain them now. If not, it's not really approval; it's just the acknowledgement that you received it and reviewed it and had the time to ask any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and move to the 25-26 federal assurances.
Yes, as we prepare for the FY26 school year, each year we have to make sure we adhere to the regulations to receive those federal funds. And so those federal assurances are before you, and we will, per your approval, after your approval, I will sign those attesting the fact that we will adhere to those federal regulations as we receive those funds for the next school year. So the recommendation is to approve the 25-26 federal assurances.
Okay, I entertain a motion. It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mr. Scott Beersley.
You need paper copies for the, on your screen.
Yeah.
All right, so, for those of you I've not had the pleasure of working with before, my name is Scott Beardsley. I serve as the school district's financial advisor. Under state law, the school district is required to hire a financial advisor whenever they go through the process of borrowing money. The district, like all other school districts in the state, cannot go down to the local bank to get a loan. You're required to go through the bond process and submit an application to the Department of Education.
publish certain notices in the local newspaper before you borrow money, and then have the State Department review all fees on the transaction. So what you have before you is a second lien bond application. And what a second lien is that you are not asking the taxpayers for a tax increase. The school district has the authority to borrow additional money without going back to the voters if their existing cash flow allows them to make payments on the bond issue. So similar to when the school district separated from Pulaski County and you purchased certain assets, buildings, equipment that were within Jacksonville, North Pulaski, this second lien would give you the authority to purchase or acquire school sites and equipment. I kind of rounded the amount up a little bit to net out $9 million, and this is a placeholder. With the board's approval, we'll run one notice in the paper, giving people the ability to come comment on the second lien bond. You'll get the State Department's approval. This takes 3 or 4 months. And then once you have that approval during late summer, if the district wanted to issue a bond, you would have the paperwork done. If you don't want to issue a bond, the only cost is the one publication in the local newspaper that when we start the process. If the school district decides to borrow less than $9 million, you have the authority to decrease it to any amount that's appropriate for what you want to purchase. You just can't go more than what we started the process, and that's why we rounded it up just a little bit. You're also required by state law to submit a copy of my contract along with the application. That's attached there with your minutes. It's the same fee schedule we've used since the district was created, and our fee is contingent on the bond issue closing. So again, if you stop the process, then you don't owe us or the attorneys any fees for getting you as far along as we get if we don't close the bond issue. I'd be glad to answer any questions. Otherwise, the motion to start the process is in your packets.
Questions?
Just to be clear, this is for the potential of acquiring new facilities.
Yes, acquiring new facilities and any additional equipment to go along with it, if needed.
And it also gives you the authority if you need to remodel any of the space, and you can use the funds for that. So kind of the catch-all phrase is acquire facilities, refurbish, remodel, and equip existing facilities.
No further questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to submit an application for a permit to issue bonds with related documents for $9,230,000 and construction bonds to the State Department of Education and employ First Security Beardsley as fiscal agent and to authorize the superintendent of schools to accept or reject the best bid submitted in connection with the public sale of the proposed bonds in consultation with the fiscal agent.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Very good.
Thank you so much.
I'll let you break into the signature.
Okay, thank you. In addition to that, board, just for a discussion matter, we have been asked to consider purchasing the additional property on First Street and possibility of allowing the charter school that's currently owns the building to continue as a K-5 and transition for next year. And so I wanted to bring that before you. And just to be clear, that the discussion point is if we moved forward with the discussion about purchasing the building, if that goes through, would we be willing as a district, as JNPSD, to allow them to continue K-5 to continue in the elementary section for FY 25-26 school year? And it's just bringing that up to ask your thoughts so the conversations could continue if we're in favor of doing that. If not, then I will let the board, the CEO know.
I think maybe we need to have a workshop to discuss this. Further, just to see what it's gonna look like. Like, Jason, what do you guys think?
I will circle back with you all and with the other party to secure some dates and let you all know.
Thank you.
Will it be a dual meeting with them or just us, or how we gonna do it?
If you all approve, my suggestion is do a dual party with their CEO and board so that all discussion can take place and there's not a back and forth with discussion, and that we can come to a decision then and then move to at the next board meeting for your vote.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you. 25-26 school improvement plans.
Yes, again, we're preparing for the FY26 school year, and so we have before you the school improvement plans for each of our schools submitted by Dr. Walker, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and it's in accordance to Act 83 of 2019. The funding is aligned through our ESA title funds and 1003 funds. So the recommendation is to approve the FY26 school improvement plans, and you should have a copy or the link before you as well.
Okay, I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And this passed. Titan Learning Academy Conversion Charter Application in DSEG.
Not to be confused with the most recent request that we did not move forward with. This is the conversion charter that you all have been made aware of a year ago and that we've been working on for our Titan Learning Academy. And so before you have the actual application and the desegregation analysis that was provided by Mr. Scott Richardson. And so we want to ask for your approval for this application for submission along with the desegregation analysis.
I entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And this is for our Titan Learning Academy Conversion Charter, as Dr. Owens said, and not our other discussions. Okay. Student disciplinary action.
You should have two uncontested cases in your report, in your packet. Mr. Smith, will you come to the podium, please? We want to use your historical knowledge. Ms. Tony, will you stay to the increment, please?
I just had a question. I'm so sorry, that's really loud. When we have somebody that's been recommended for expulsion, and if that goes through, are they not coming back through for 6 months probation?
So, when they return, our policy, it's under the expulsion section. it outlines that. It outlines the process for expulsion, and it outlines for when they return. Previously in that policy, I think probably in about year 2, maybe 3, we put in place a probation policy that says when you return, you're on probation. Also at that time, we put some language in there, when you return, you're referred for the alternative learning environment. We use the word referred because we believe that that word gave us sufficient leeway. One of the, you've got the ASB policies in front of you, some, for review. Some of those policies, I think it's 4.2, 4.2 to 4.6, right in there, addresses alternative education. And in alternative education, one of the rules is that it's non-punitive. So during one of our reviews, the gentleman from Division of Elementary and Secondary Education reviewed and said that's our current policy is not consistent with the law because it says the referred upon. We made changes to the policy, and those changes say that when scholars return, they are referred for interventions upon return, and those interventions can be provided through RTI, through alternative ed, through Hub, or 504 IUP. And so many of those, and our campuses do a very good job of determining what's best for that scholar. Some of them, many of them do end up going to alternative ed. All of them are on probation. Many of them, they make the determination that interventions on site are better.
So when they come back, they are on probation.
They're on probation.
You just don't like it anymore?
I may have overlooked one. I apologize if I
No,
did.
no, and that's okay, I'm not
Yeah,
trying to call you out or
yeah.
anything, I just, for some reason, when I saw it, I thought, are we not?
They are on probation. That policy's been there for several years now. So regardless, even if I fail to mark it, which I apologize, they're still on probation.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any other questions?
Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation for the student disciplinary actions to students.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's passed. Okay. We don't have a personnel hearing. Let me go ahead and get us, we have an addendum, the 25-26 handbook proposal for 30-day review and consideration of recommendations for personnel. I entertain a motion to accept these addendums.
So moved to accept the addendum for the handbook and for the personnel agenda, personnel SD. Excuse me.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
So, board members, and as we do on an annual basis, you have the handbook proposal revisions before you, and Mr. Smith and the committee worked on those, on any suggested changes, and so we wanted to present those to you for a 30-day review, and then next month we will bring them back to you for discussion and hopefully an approval. And so, not really an action item, just more of a for your information as we move forward to action item, a potential action item for next month.
So Dr. Owen, these are not suggested, these are required. Is that right by law?
Well, some of them are required, and some of them have been suggested as revisions.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, do you know how the board can distinguish between the required and the?
So at the top of each proposal, there's rationale, and so that rationale will provide a little bit of background for whether it's required by law or whether it's something that was just based on our observations and data throughout the course of the year.
Okay.
Now we'll move on to personnel. We'll move on to personnel.
Make a motion, we can go into executive session.
You're breaking for executive session.
I've got this one, too.
Okay. Okay, we're back in session. Okay, we have one more agenda item, personnel. We've looked over it. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Pass. Mr. McDaniel.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Thank you everyone for coming out.